seen some bad driving in my day, but never in my life did I even dream I'd witness vehicles being handled as atrociously as I've seen here at the Driver Rehabilitation Centre. Canada's worst drivers somehow managed to navigate their way through our front gates 2 shows ago. We immediately took their keys and enrolled them in our boot camp for bad drivers. A whole heap full of twisted metal and broken taillights later, 1 person has graduated and 7 remain, each desperately trying to steer clear of being branded Canada's worst driver. The candidates for Canada's worst driver come from across the country and were all nominated by you. Madalena was nominated by her best friend, Jennifer. Chris was called out by his wife, Michelle. Heather was nominated by her husband, Ernie. David was brought here by his buddy, George. Faith Ann was nominated by 4 people, including Joanne. Manuel was nominated by his co-worker, Alex. And Tatiana was accused of being Canada's worst driver by her mother-in-law, Beth. So far, Canada's worst drivers have lived up to their billing. I know, because I've driven every course they've scraped through, and I haven't hit a thing. Keep in mind, I'm also no expert. I'm just your average run-of-the-mill driver. But next to this ragtag band of ne'er-do-wells, I'm absolutely outstanding. For the sake of public safety, we have quarantined the worst drivers here on this remote island in rural Ontario. Life at our Driver Rehabilitation Centre is nothing like the flashy and congested urban life our nominees left behind.
Most urbanites think that driving through country farmland is relaxing, easy. They even think that dealing with roaming animals is fun. That is pure bull, as Canada's worst drivers are about to find out.
This is the Farmyard Challenge. As usual, I'll be driving the course first. We start off by reversing through this hallway of hay.
Don't want to hit that ladder, I'm fine, I think.
Which leads to our intimidating slalom course.
Now there's jagged bits of metal sticking everywhere.
This challenge is all about tight maneuvering in an unfamiliar environment. The reversing section ends when I successfully slip between these 2 parked cars.
No problem. And that gets us halfway through the challenge, and then we come back through it again forwards.
The hallway of hay bales now funnels me into this quaint dirt road to nowhere.
Ah, nice and relaxing.
Hold your horses. I'm about to get sandwiched.
So when we get the big farm machine coming at us, it's time to reverse out of the way?
Next, release the mutton.
Whoa, we got sheep action behind us. Oh, I'm going to have to give David Chow a lecture that if he hears metal scraping on sheep, he has to stop. Okay, I guess I'll tuck back into the barn here to let the farm machine pass. And I'm on my way again. And that is the Farmyard Challenge.
To help us understand and educate our bad drivers, we've gathered together a crack team of experts. Dr. Uzma Raymond is a professor of psychology at Queen's University.
You're not getting it, okay?
Jim Kenzie is a syndicated auto journalist.
There's only 1 pair of hands on the wheel, and those are yours.
At Young Drivers of Canada, Scott Marshall instructs the instructors.
Learn how to use the tools, then put it together.
And Kelly Williams is a cast car, race car driver.
I feel like you're not aware enough.
When Canada's worst drivers are on the course, our experts are on the case, analyzing every move from our on-site nerve center. Chris is our only nominee who's never caused an accident. But that's because in 13 years of having a license, he only ever drove 4 times.
I might be Canada's worst driver because if I get out on the road, I have the full capacity to possibly kill someone.
Good boy, stay.
Chris's wife, Michelle, probably isn't helping by speaking to him like he's a dog.
Down.
I hate to say this, but I don't think your wife's helping you because she's laughing at you, telling you that you're an idiot. All it does is it beats you down and makes you less secure about what you're doing.
I really don't know whether there's any aspect of my personality that might impede Chris's driving. I want to help him and I want to take over and I want to just do it, but I know that that's not why I'm here.
So, can Michelle change her ways when Chris is behind the wheel? Chris starts out this morning happily accepting his wife's praise. But he still runs into things.
I don't know what just happened there, but...
You hit the ladder that's in front of you.
Michelle is not scaring Chris today, and her pleasant disposition does seem to be helping.
There you go. Beauty. You're okay, you're okay, you're okay.
Chris's car control is obviously improving.
Forward, baby.
Forward.
You didn't do too bad. You all proud of yourself?
This could be due to Michelle's rosy demeanor, or it could be the result of his recent lessons. Or it could be a fluke.
Oh, son of a gun, what was that?
That was the bar sticking out there.
Chris is better, but he would still be an expensive disaster in a crowded parking lot.
Oh, you did good backing up. I'm very
That's twice now. Yeah, that's twice now. That's good.
Now what? What, backwards? You gotta be kidding me. What bloody country are we in? Sheep, for crying out loud.
They've got a long way to go, but it is encouraging to see this couple headed in the right direction.
Oh, I think it's getting better. I know it's getting better. It's not perfect. I still got to do little steps here and there, but so that I don't hit anything. Because, I mean, the point is not to hit anything. So we're not at 100% yet.
Next up, Manuel, a perfectionist who obsesses over tiny details.
I need to move it a little bit down. Not too much. Down further. No, too far. There, we're almost perfect. We are go there.
Being a perfectionist is great when you're parked, but when you're moving, it pays to be decisive.
Let's try to do this one a little quick.
Well, quick, but precise. Let's think that this is a medical emergency and there we have to back out the vehicle out.
Manuel seems a little old for pretending, but hey, whatever works.
I think it's that I'm not looking where I'm going. Let me just relax a little bit.
Except it isn't working. It's going to take a lot more than make-believe to solve Manuel's problems.
Whoa. You just knocked off. Oh, no, it's not knocked. Oh, and there they go.
They fell?
We're gonna hit Maris.
He's all right.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's try to do this a little bit quick here, okay?
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah. Oh, you're awesome. Good.
We are going. This is amazing. Okay. This is amazing. Like, this is paid training, so I want to be careful because this is icy.
There's always possibility
so I want to make
for
sure that this
surprises.
goes very well.
As Manuel creeps up the road, I'm getting nervous. Will the sheep now pay the ultimate price?
I don't
Look at this.
understand.
Look at the back. Look behind you.
Not a chance. Manuel loves animals, so he immediately puts his vehicle in park.
The sheep is our #1 priority, so we need to wait till they
Is
pass.
their life?
Yeah, let's actually do this. Let's put our flashers. Where are the flashers on this thing?
Don't worry about it. We don't need flashes.
Oh, no, but I do. I want to put the flashers. Where are the flashers? Sheep is something that I love a lot. And they look, they're so soft and harmless. And they're like so tame that I would really hate to hurt the sheep. But I think it added to what we were doing.
Tatiana's up next. She's one of those people who drives infuriatingly slowly on the highway. Today, she's confidently weaving her way through the slalom.
She's looking around. She's checking. She's using all her resources.
Because you can't always tell your clearance by looking at the back.
Tatiana can drive. She just has issues.
I came here with skills. I had a huge lack of confidence. But these last 3 days, I conquered all these fears, so I think I deserve to go home.
Tatiana is doing so well, she decides to conquer her speed demons.
She's going pretty fast.
For someone who's like slow, she looks attractive, right? Oh, she hit it. Oh, no, she hit it. Oh, she's not looking happy right here. You know what? That's going to leave a mark. Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's not happy.
I should have paid more attention. I just wanted to prove that I can race, so I guess I proved it.
4 of Canada's worst drivers are still to come. Let's hope the car lives that long.
Maybe you really are a bad driver.
Here at the Driver Rehabilitation Centre, we're putting Canada's worst drivers through the Farmyard Challenge. They have to make it down our twisted country lane, then avoid a farm vehicle, and finish by not violating these sheep's space. So far, the sheep are the only obstacle that hasn't been hit. That could all change with Madalena. Madalena gets so many dents on her car, she saves them up because it's cheaper to get them fixed in bulk.
I can't even count the number of accidents that I've had.
She doesn't know how her car works.
Is that smoke coming from my car?
And she's too easily distracted.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Go as fast as you can. It's tight. Good luck to you.
Okay, thank
All right?
you.
You're welcome.
The last time Madalena reversed in a challenge, she got horribly stuck.
Oh, you have to back up?
And I'd say that's the last time you're going to be seeing her drive quickly for quite a while.
Okay, start turning, I think. Look on your side.
Sure enough, at the first opportunity, Madalena gets herself thoroughly wedged in.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Jeez. Okay, you're gonna hit it. You're gonna hit it. You're gonna hit it. Tell me how I'm in the front. Okay, you hit it. Jen, you're supposed to tell me before. It's because it touched on the ground. This is a meat thing. Show me support, man. I know, you're doing great, man.
She's not doing great, man. Madalena is lining up on the wrong side of the entrance every time.
Or actually, just look on your stuff. Well, you're hitting everything right there. Maybe you really are a bad driver. There we go. Look at that. That's talent.
That's only the first turn. And already, Madalena is sick of trying hard. You would call this banging into something. Madalena calls it creating space with her bumper.
Patience and practice makes perfect. You know.
Madalena is patiently practicing hitting things. She needs to practice missing them.
Oh, damn it.
She finally completes the reversing section in more than twice the time it's taken anyone else. Going forward, it's the same story. Her total time is by far the slowest. Which brings us to Heather. Dear, dear Heather.
I think you missed that stop sign.
Uh-oh. She's written off 10 cars in 20 years. A drive around her hometown of Medicine Hat, Alberta with husband Ernie is like a scrapbook of car crash memories.
You remember this turn down here?
I sure do, Ernie.
And that's when they rode off the Geo Metro.
I think I maybe am a bad driver.
Ernie can't drive much anymore, so Heather has become his chauffeur, and that's stressing Ernie out.
I definitely do not like riding with her.
Today, Ernie can't face it, so Manuel's nominator Alex steps in. Let's see how Heather does with a positive voice beside her.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry about that.
Sadly, Heather still hits almost everything as she slinks her way through the slalom. And when she hits something, she keeps on hitting it.
Oh, watch out. Okay, straighten out.
Things go from bad to dreadful when Heather tries to reverse between our parked cars.
Okay, now these cars are parked very close together. I'm gonna hit mirror. Oh, now we lost mirror.
Apparently, Ernie's negativity has nothing to do with Heather's bad driving. Going forward now, Alex jauntily fixes the course. And the car.
Down there could have been an improvement. I banged into a few things.
I feel like you're not aware enough of what's going on around you. You need to look out more than just the front windshield. You have, 6 windows in that car, and they're all meant to be used. So I think you need to use them a lot more when you're driving.
When you backed up, you did end up hitting an awful lot of things.
That's right.
But it's not just backing skills. Going forward also occurred. It's knowing where you are. When you know your vehicle and using your eyes, you can make better decisions. And then Ernie won't be so uptight.
Up next, David. He's going through a lot right now.
Whoa, I didn't see the red light.
No. Come on, did you see the wall coming up?
Yeah.
Well, don't hit the wall, man.
To help David remember the obvious, we've given him his own mantra. No metal on metal.
When you hear...
Stop!
Yeah.
Okay, David. This is the farmyard challenges, What's your mantra, man?
If I'm hearing scraping metal, then get out of the car.
And stop.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
You'll be good.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
David is what you'd call a swervy driver. He has a tendency to oversteer and then overcorrect.
Yeah, it's not your car. Don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
Man, I'd just bail.
Yeah, but you could tell just by the way he's steering it that he doesn't have any clue right there.
Trying to avoid that ladder.
He's not scraping past the obstacles this time, but he's not getting past the obstacles either. Like Madalena, he persistently lines up in the wrong spot.
Turn.
George's advice isn't helping.
I know, but come close. Ooh.
David gives up on not hitting things and starts forcing his way through.
Oh! That's this one. Yeah, this one's gonna be a challenge. Kind of close. Oh, yeah. Woo, good job, Dave. Oh!
As the pressure builds, David gives up on himself, relinquishing control of the wheel to his grabby friend, George. Finally, he's through reversing.
Okay, now we're moving forward.
For most people, the slalom has been the worst part of this course. But David's ability to think goes right out the window when he's confronted by the tractor. Instead of backing straight away from it, he sort of swerves around at an angle.
I don't know what to do, man. Gosh. You're giving up.
He spins back onto the road, but then swerves right back off again.
Why are you going back to exactly where you were?
This time, he gets good and stuck to boot.
Okay, rules of the road state that if you're on a one-lane country road and a large farm machine is coming toward you, the farm machine has the right of way. Of course, if you're stuck in the ice, no one really has anywhere to go.
David spins his wheels for more than half an hour without asking anyone for help.
In a normal situation, I would walk right now. Can I walk?
I can't take it anymore. Even the sheep are bored. It's time to go.
There you go.
I guess I still don't quite get it yet. George is telling me to get one of those remote control cars. Yeah, I think I learned the lesson that I'm never gonna go driving in the country anymore. You know, that's the lesson I learned out of this.
Our experts don't find this funny. Driving is serious business to them, and they intend on making it serious for David.
The sooner you understand where your vehicle is, you can lose the metal on metal, and even being close, you won't be close.
My problem right now, and I never discovered it until now, until the show, is I don't know how to get the car to go where I want it to go.
The biggest thing with that is you got to look all the way through. You got to look all the way, and you have to imagine that you're one with your car. So, you know, when you're in your car, it's part of your body as well. So that's really important.
Well, I'm doing the best I can right now. They realize that I actually want to improve on my driving now, and they realize that, you know, I am taking it seriously, and I'm not just here for fun and games, you know, as maybe that's what it seemed like the first time. But just be a little bit more patient, and you know, the skills are gonna come, right? The more practice I get, and the more maneuvering I get to do with the car, then the better I'm gonna get.
We're going to have to back up and start again. The next challenge is to turn our drivers around literally. It's time for a three-point turn. Canada's 7 worst drivers didn't hit any sheep at the farm, but they did trash the car. It's time to go back to basics.
If you realize you're driving in the wrong direction and there's not enough room to do a U-turn, your next best bet is to do a three-point turn. It's totally legal, it's totally safe, but if you're one of Canada's worst drivers, it's totally frustrating.
We're challenging our drivers to get up on this platform, do a three-point turn, then drive off again. For guidance, we've put buckets of water on the edge to help them figure out exactly where the drop-off is.
And this is the three-point turn of frustration. So you come up on the ramp like this, knock that water bottle to kingdom come, get over that way, all I can go, and then I come this away. Make this all the way to the right. We're going to touch that and then drape just our left wheel ever so slightly off the edge. Like right there. Go. Now we're turning the wheel. We're backing up. We're turn number 2. Getting that water bottle right there. And now turn number 3. Ooh, she's tight, but not all that frustrating.
The keys are three things. Slow vehicle.
Yeah.
Quicker hands.
Yeah.
And look where you want to go.
Okay, very good.
Before they do it on stage, we're giving each bad driver a 3-point turning lesson with our instructor, Scott Marshall. Go forward to the left, backward to the right, forward to the left.
That way.
Easy. But once they're on our tiny stage, it will be harder. They won't just have to know where their bumpers are, they'll have to know where their wheels are too. And there's a hidden twist.
Keep looking into the space.
Yeah. This is the event we call the 3-point turn of frustration. What happens is, you're going to drive up onto this platform, you're going to perform a 3-point turn on the platform in the same way you came on, except you're always going to be going frontwards. Around the perimeter of the platform, you can see these white buckets. They're not. They're actually aids for you to know where the edge is so you don't take your vehicle off the edge. Clock is on.
All right.
It's the 3-point turn of frustration.
Let's do it.
Enjoy.
No one's got much faith in Chris. After all, this is a man who was stuck for almost a half hour last episode trying to back out of a simple dead end.
Holy crap. I don't know. This is going to be more of a 4-point. Not exactly what I really wanted to do.
But he doesn't do too badly at all, pulling it off in 5 turns.
All right, I'm impressed.
Chris,
He's
you
doing
did a
pretty
good
good.
job.
She's pretty relaxed and easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now, let's...
She didn't laugh at me.
Well, I got off.
There you go. You should be proud.
There you go.
Oh, very
Now, is there a
nice.
connection?
That was very nice.
That was
Positive
much
feedback?
better.
Better performance?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, that was fine, although technically I think that was more a 4-point.
I believe we counted 5.
Okay, 5.
In a space this size, you can drape the front of your car and the back of your car well off this platform before your wheels get to the edge.
Yeah.
So the only way to get there and figure this one out is to actually strike and move those barrels with your machine.
Remember what Scott told you.
Yeah, I know, I'm trying to...
Can Chris reduce his 5-point turn down to a 3-point turn? There's 1 turn. This is 2.
I think one just went off.
His 3rd turn looks a little wide.
No.
If Chris was a gymnast, this dismount would break his ankle.
3 points.
That's an ugly 3-point turn, but that's a 3-point turn, baby. That's a 3-point turn, and you're out.
Thank you very much.
However, it's not Chris's behavior that's impressing our experts.
We might have been a little bit hard on your wife in the previous episode. We were talking about how there seemed to be some dynamics going there that didn't seem to be helping your driving. And we couldn't help but notice the positive feedback she was giving you in the 3-point turn and how much better you did. But that was quite a remarkable turnaround. And maybe that's reflecting your own improved confidence.
Madeleine is up next.
I want to go here. So looky there.
She knows it's supposed to be a 3-point turn, but her main objective is simply not to fall off the stage.
Look where I want to go. I'm going to have patience like Chris.
You don't want to be stuck behind Madeleine when she's doing this on the road. After an almost unbelievable 13 turns, you know everything you need to know about Madelaine's basic skill level.
Practice makes perfect, so if you guys let me stay here all day, you know, eventually.
Next up is Heather. Ernie's still not ready to ride shotgun with the missus, so I bite the bullet and slide in beside her. Now here's that twist I mentioned. We taught our drivers to turn to the left. What they don't know is that because of the driveway's position, if they turn to the right on this stage, they'll have a whole lot more room. Heather is on her 5th turn when things take a turn for the worse.
Ooh, are we off the edge?
We'd love to say that Heather is improving in leaps and bounds.
You ready?
Yeah.
But her rehabilitation is barely beginning.
I feel good now. I feel like a little child. I just discovered something because now wherever I look, the car goes.
Our high-tech IT specialist, Manuel, is next. A 3-point turn in a confined space is basically a mathematics problem. So this should be a cinch for Manuel.
Watch out. 1 second. I want to go. Why are you laughing? I want to go.
This is tight.
It is tight.
What, Manuel? We're gonna roll off.
No, we won't roll off.
Well, look, now we're off.
Yeah, we are off.
We're sitting at an angle here.
I think we are going to the
One wheel is hooked. There's no way.
What the heck is this?
Okay, wait, okay, stop, okay.
Okay, there you go.
We're allowing our drivers multiple attempts on this challenge.
There. Oh, again you forget to put it in drive. Now we're 5 points again. How do you heck?
This is really a challenge.
Manuel tries and fails so many times, he needs to take a little pit stop. You'd think that after this long, he'd be figuring it out.
This one, now we're even worse.
He's not.
Oh, I think we are now. I'm trying to get the car out.
This really is the three-point turn of frustration.
Ay. This is crazy.
Then Alex sees the twist.
Let's try it this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
The driveway is on the right, so if the students go against their instincts and do the three-point turn to the right instead of to the left, they'll ultimately have a lot more room. Sure enough, after 3 easy turns, Manuel glides off the ramp with meters to spare.
I think we're good. Look at that. Look at that. Aren't we like the best drivers?
It pays to have clever friends.
That is a challenge.
With Canada's worst drivers limping along, it's time to break out the sports car. Get off the sidewalk, kids.
Welcome back to Canada's worst driver. 7 dodgy drivers remain. Each of them seems like a total write-off. Our driving experts, though, believe they can all be turned into civilized commuters.
Before we let our students pick up some speed in this episode's final challenge, our instructor Scott Marshall is going to come up to speed on how much they know.
What's the best way to check your blind spot?
You mean the blind spot in the car?
The blind spot beside your car.
Your rear mirror or your side mirror?
Turn your head.
Attaboy. What is the legally safe stopping distance behind a stopped school bus with their lights flashing?
3 feet?
6 feet, 8 feet, 8 feet.
10 feet.
A lot more, 20 meters or 60 feet. Okay. If 2 drivers arrive at a 4-way stop at exactly the same time, who should be given the right of way?
If 2 cars.
You and another driver arrive at an intersection at the same time.
That's kind of hard to say, I guess. Whoever's making the first movement, I guess.
Me?
Who should be given the right of
Well,
way?
the first one there.
At the same time.
The driver to your east. I don't know.
Try again, quick.
West.
Exact same time. You and another driver.
I'll let the other person go first.
That's nice of you. Driver on the right. When is it appropriate to use your horn?
When you're pissed off?
Whenever you think you need it.
When someone's about to cut you off, I think it's the best time.
Okay, or in general to alert other road users of your presence. On a multi-lane, one-way street, what do you do when you see an emergency vehicle with their lights flashing in your rearview mirror? Police, fire, ambulance, coming up from behind you. Their lights are flashing.
These people are the reason for public transit.
Every day in Canada, drivers fly past each other with only a hair's breadth of space separating them from total calamity. Safe high-speed driving basically boils down to understanding exactly how much space you have to work with. And that is a skill that is seriously lacking in Canada's worst drivers. Teaching them this lesson on the highway would obviously be an act of complete irresponsibility, but not teaching the lesson would be a dereliction of duty. So, we've come up with this cunning plan.
We call this challenge the Eye of the Needle. Basically, it goes like this. Canada's worst drivers have to hold a steady course between these cones. After the cones come the boxes. Finally, the drivers should pass unscathed through the eye of the needle.
I hope we've got enough boxes, because this is going to get ugly.
We've always been apprehensive about speed here at the rehab center. We've concentrated on braking. And sure enough, Canada's worst drivers have broken a lot of things. Now they're going to have to stay off the brakes, going 60 kilometers an hour with pinpoint accuracy. With speed comes responsibility, and responsibility brings pressure, which around here is sure to translate into unspeakably horrible steering. Stand back, everybody. Our first high-speed challenge is about to get underway. Well, high-ish speed. We're starting our worst drivers out at a sluggish 40 kilometers an hour. To make sure they at least reach that conservative speed, Constable Lon Fuller will be clocking them with his radar gun. After Canada's worst drivers run the course once, they'll run it again at 50 clicks and then one final time at 60K or faster. The seatbelts are on, and Manuel is nervous. He overcautiously approaches the boxes.
Okay, and keep in mind,
He's going faster.
40 is a school zone, right?
That's right.
Where else do we do 40?
Oh. Crap. That really sucked.
Manuel didn't even reach 40. He only managed to go a pitiful 32 clicks an hour.
I hate
Okay, go to the end and turn around. We're going to talk strategy.
Okay, what is the strategy? Tell me.
Okay, stop.
Alex can coach, but he can't make Manuel perform.
Look further ahead.
Yeah, I'm doing that
and
right
be
now.
tighter to your left.
Speed intensifies the need for decisiveness because at just 50K, a car travels almost 14 meters a second.
And don't lose your cool. Just make the drive. Hit this speed. Stay this speed. Stay this speed. Stay this speed. You're slowing down. Speed up. Speed up. You're slowing down. Good, 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 good. Stop. Oh, we knocked the bridge down again. But it was closer this time.
Okay, I have to center myself. I have to reprogram myself, okay, guys?
Yeah.
Let me do this. Can you let me do this on my own a little bit?
Yeah, totally.
Let me do this. What is my center
Totally.
here? Where's my center? My center. Where is my center? Where is my center?
To Manuel, the question seems philosophical.
We gotta get to 60 now, so you're gonna have to get some gas. Okay, we're at 60. Maintain that speed. Perfect, 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 perfect. Stop. You almost had it. Oh, look, the bridge is still up. How do you think he did?
You know, I feel an idiot. I feel stupid because other people can do it. Why can't I not do it? So that's my challenge right now. I am trying to compose with that.
You're used to a certain performance level. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're used to 9 and 10. And now your driving isn't there. So your expectations versus your performance level, they don't match. And you're actually knocking yourself down.
Of course you want to drive carefully, you want to do well, but you put so much pressure on yourself. Ease up a little bit.
Canada's worst drivers are trying to thread the eye of a cardboard needle in our saucy little red sports car. Speed demands precise steering, and we haven't seen any.
That really sucked.
Next up is speed-loving Faith Ann. After 37 accidents and a metal plate in her leg, she still loves to floor it and take chances because she believes that she's a good fast driver.
3 times, you almost killed us. Check your speed limit.
To Faith Ann, 40K is super slow.
A little bit more.
But she still hits a box, and at 50, she sideswipes 3 columns in a row.
I took down that fast.
60 is worse.
You're not quite there yet. Okay, you're good now.
They say that rehab doesn't work for you if you don't want to reform.
Faster is not better.
And Faith Ann still seems to enjoy hitting things.
I had an accident several years ago. I'm still scared to go on curves. I'm still afraid sometimes. Why hasn't that fear happened for you?
It shakes you up a bit, but I'm really not afraid of it. I can't tell you why.
We're trying to get you to realize the seriousness of the situation.
I understand it's serious. I have a metal plate in my leg. I know it's serious.
We appreciate that. But your track record of the last 10 years shows that the opinion of that seriousness hasn't affected your behavior.
On our way.
David drastically overcorrects his steering when he drives slowly. Now he's about to attempt his fastest run through the eye of the needle.
Going.
60, we're good. Woo! Holy
Peeling off a row of boxes is bad, but bouncing from side to side is much worse. David is violently swerving the wheel back and forth and back again. The poor man is nowhere close to being released from our rehab center.
60 was a little scary for me. I had to swerve a lot there because I felt like it was going to be a lot tighter, so I kept on going like this.
Which brings us to Heather, who has her husband Ernie back in the support seat. On her first run, Heather hits the boxes, but not the speed requirement. She crawls through the needle at just under 20 kilometers an hour.
Okay.
Yep.
On run number 2, she gets the car up to 50, but she doesn't steer quite as well. For the 60-click run, Ernie's instructions are straight to the point.
Give her and I'll tell you when.
60.
Heather does as she's told. She gives her.
Slow down a little. Stop.
I took a few. Oh, look what I did.
You're on camera.
Did you notice that every box Heather hit was on Ernie's side of the car? In fact, so far, every box that every driver hit has been on the passenger side of the car. Canada's worst drivers are not only dangerous, they're selfish. They protect themselves while subjecting their passengers to impact.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Heading into this challenge, Chris is a strong contender to be the most improved driver this show. Let's see how he handles the eye of the needle at 40 kilometers an hour.
Little faster, little faster, little faster, little faster, little faster. Okay.
First class. At 50, though, Chris gets excited and gives the car too much gas. With less time to correct steering, Chris runs amok.
You're doing over 60.
Some people can't chew gum and walk. Chris can't look at his dashboard and steer straight.
How's that for you, Chris?
Oh, that was fine. And I was trying to look at the speedometer, and I got to 50, and I stopped looking at it. And I tried to hold my foot, and I guess with the pedal and my foot wasn't used to it. So I know I crept up in the speed and sideswiped a few things there. But
for his final run at 60 or above, Chris decides to really test himself. He wants to go 70 kilometers an hour.
Alrighty, you're at 60. You're at 60.
Michelle has recently been resisting the urge to laugh at her husband.
oh, that was bad. The damn car drifted.
Yeah.
There was a potential for bodily function to be lost, I think. Most definitely.
Seeing this wreckage makes Chris think he should stay in quarantine.
I would probably want a little more training just for highway stuff because I'm still kind of a little bit edgy when it comes to high speeds. 80 so far seems to be my limit. And I know you can't really do that on highway, so you have to get up to speed.
Last to run this course is the slowest driver we know. Just approaching 40 kilometers an hour has Tatiana frightened to the core.
There's nothing solid there. You can't get hurt.
No, I'm just scared. I can't drive that fast. It's like it's claustrophobia.
Oh, you're doing fantastic here. You're okay. That's it.
At 40 clicks, though, she merely shaves a single box.
Hey, girl, you did it. See, you can do it. 50. Stay on that speed and you're fine. You're 50. You're doing good, Tatiana. A little faster. You're going down to 45.
At 50, she's having so much fun.
50. Oh, you're going 60 kilometers.
Tatiana is having a breakthrough. This is exactly what she needs to overcome her fear of speed. But how will she handle going 60 or above?
Keep in mind, it's not dangerous.
Oh, I know it's not dangerous.
You can't.
I'm not scared of. I'm just, the speed is killing me.
Well, it shouldn't. Just take a deep breath and you'll see it'll go good. 55, 60, Good girl, look at you going. Yay!
It isn't perfect, but it is fast. And for Tatiana, that's success.
72! I can drive with 72 between boxes. I can't believe I did it. I am becoming Fittipaldi. Oh, man, that was a rush.
I would have thought that your confidence might have taken a bit of a whack when you took out the tractor.
One of your things that you've consistently mentioned is your fear of speed. And you addressed it this time. Good for you.
But you're still going to have to work at it once you start going on the highway and that. You're still going to be working at conquering those fears as well when you're driving. But the further ahead that you look, the less of a panic anything is going to be. So you still have to talk to yourself when you're driving.
Somebody has to graduate from this school this week.
Our experts are about to decide who will graduate and who will stay stuck in the running to be named Canada's worst driver. Welcome back to Canada's Worst Driver, where our experts have the tough task of letting one of the 7 terrible drivers left back onto public roads.
Somebody has to graduate from this school this week.
We've got a couple of people here who can drive.
Absolutely.
Faith Ann, we know she has the physical skills. I'm still not convinced we're seeing enough compassion for other drivers.
Maybe with her, she won't admit it, but I really think
I
she
agree
can.
with you. Faith Ann may not admit that she has these issues, but she is trainable, and I really think she's learned stuff.
The other thing we have to be careful of with all of our people, and there's a couple of people in this category, are they driving better because of us, because of the show, or are they really seriously wanting to improve?
How about David Chow in terms of improvement?
He's trying, he's focused, he doesn't want to look like the bad driver that he unfortunately is right now.
Manuel continues to confuse us because he'll do well in one exercise and completely blow another.
Old Manuel ain't graduating no time soon, as far as I can tell, unless some dramatic change happens in the next couple of episodes.
Speaking of which, dear Heather,
She tries, but she's still been working for so many years of bad habits. You have to unlearn before you can relearn. But does she want to learn? Absolutely.
This is not going to be easy, but we do actually have to put our heads together and come up with somebody who we feel confident enough to graduate.
I think we've got a short list of 2.
Okay?
Tough choices.
Before someone graduates, our drivers need to be read the Riot Act. They are still far too casual about banging into things.
After 3 weeks of intensive training here at the Driver Rehabilitation Centre, Canada's worst drivers are finally showing a glimmer of hope. Oh, sure, they still drive off of ledges and run into tractors and refuse to stop their vehicle when they hear scraping metal on metal, but there have been some improvements. Manuel, this week you pulled off a very difficult 3-point turn. But then, as soon as we let you go faster than you're allowed to go in a school zone, your progress stalled. Then it rolled backwards and banged into something. David, you finally became focused and serious about your driving. But the mantra I gave you, it just doesn't seem like it's working. So I want you to keep on repeating it, please. When I hear metal scraping on metal, I will stop my car, okay? You can do it. And Faith Ann, you showed us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're the best driver here, but come on. Driving skills were never your issue, and you won't be able to leave the DRC until you convince us that your cavalier disregard for other people's safety has finally reached a dead end. It was a week of great growth for most of our students, but one person proved to our experts that she no longer needs to be here. Tatiana.
When we first met Tatiana, she drove so slowly the cars stacked up behind her like sardines. And when she first tried going fast, she nailed a tractor. But she kept going fast and eventually threaded the eye of the needle at 72 km an hour.
Oh, that was a rush.
Congratulations, you graduated.
Thank you.
I'm in control of the vehicle no matter the speed, so I don't fear this anymore. I think I did it. I deserve to go home.
On the next episode of Canada's Worst Driver, the vehicles don't break down.
We're not learning anything. I learned all.
The drivers do.
It's just too much.